You ever wonder how some people manage to build wealth without shouting about it on social media or flashing it around like a menorah with too many candles? Let me tell you a little secret. In Jewish communities, and I say this with love and pride, we've been building wealth for centuries not just through individual hustle, but through something even more powerful, community. Yes, I know. Everyone talks about stocks and bonds, mutual funds, crypto this, real estate that, all good tools. But let me show you the framework behind the tools, the system, the thinking, the values. That's where the magic is. So, grab a rugelach, settle in, and let's explore how Jews have been quietly building investment portfolios. Not just with spreadsheets, but with the strength of community. You might think an investment portfolio begins at a bank or on some fancy app with flashing green arrows. But no, it starts over coolant and herring. Let me explain. In many Jewish communities, especially the tight-knit ones, wealth doesn't begin with capital. It begins with conversation. Advice is passed from uncle to nephew, from friend to friend, from guy you just met at shul who knows a guy. That's how information spreads. You're not just investing your money, you're investing in people who've been where you're going. Let's say you're 23. You saved up some money, Mazel Tov. You're thinking, maybe I'll buy Tesla stock, maybe I'll gamble it on a startup, maybe I'll just leave it under my mattress like my bubby used to do. But instead of guessing, you ask around. You talk to Shlomo, who owns 3 laundromats. You talk to Miriam, who owns a small apartment building in Jersey and has stories that would make your eyebrows dance. They give you not just tips, but context. And here's the beauty. Nobody's gatekeeping. They want you to win. This kind of intergenerational wisdom isn't an accident. It's cultural, it's communal, and it's strategic. You don't just inherit assets, you inherit thinking. And that thinking, that's priceless. A Jewish portfolio, done right, looks like a kosher deli menu. Long, diverse, and full of options you didn't even know you needed. We don't just say, I'm putting everything into tech stocks. That's like going to a deli and only ordering pickles. It's cute, but you'll be hungry in 20 minutes. In the Talmud, yes, we're bringing in the Talmud, stay with me, there's a principle. A person should divide his wealth into 3 parts, 1 in land, 1 in commerce, and 1 kept in reserve. Bava Metzia, 42a, if you're keeping score at home. Translation? Don't put all your eggs in one basket, or all your bagels in one bag. So you'll find the Jewish investor with a little real estate, some businesses, a couple conservative funds, maybe some community lending, and yes, some cash under the proverbial mattress, just in case. Not because we're scared, because we like options. It's like that uncle who shows up to a picnic with food for 40 people. You never know, he says. That's how we treat money too. Prepared, not paranoid. And this is key. We're not talking about diversify like some shallow advice. This is structural, cultural, taught over decades, lived, not just learned. Now let's talk about something that sounds modern but is actually ancient. Group investing. You know how today people have WhatsApp chats for everything? Guys, I'm buying Dogecoin. Who's in for this pre-IPO? That sort of thing? Yeah. We've been doing that since the shtetl. It's called Chevra Capital. That's not an official term. I made it up. But it fits. Chevra means group of friends. People you trust. People who've got your back. So what happens? Let's say one guy finds a building for sale. It's too expensive for him alone. But he tells his cousin, and she tells her dentist. And suddenly, you have 5 families pooling money to buy an asset together. Everyone puts in what they can. They split the risk. They split the return. And if it goes wrong, they all go to the same wedding next weekend and talk about it. Laugh, learn, move on. This approach turns investing from a solo mission into a communal effort. And that changes everything. Because when you have 5 brains on something, mistakes are caught early, ideas grow, and people feel supported. This is also how trust is built. You don't need a Wall Street analyst. You need Moish, who's done this before, and brings spreadsheets to Shabbat lunch. Think of it like a mini kibbutz for capital. Shared responsibility, shared reward. No fancy suits required. Now here's where it gets spicy. Or should I say, pareve with a kick. A Jewish portfolio doesn't just ask, what's the return? It asks, is it right? Money is important, sure. But how you make it, that matters more. There are rules, you know? Halacha, Jewish law, actually gets into money matters. Lending with interest to a fellow Jew, for example. Not allowed. So how do we lend? We create heter iska, a special contract that turns it into a partnership. Does that sound complicated? It is. But it's also genius. The point is, profit should never come at the cost of ethics. You might find a great investment opportunity, but if it involves hurting others, exploiting labor, or selling something shady, it's off the table. There's an old Yiddish saying, better a penny with honor than a dollar with shame. So this affects the whole portfolio. We avoid investments in companies that violate ethical standards, not just because it's the right thing to do, but because spiritually and socially, we believe that dishonest money doesn't last. It's like building a house on sand. Eventually, the storm comes. We aim for solid ground, morally and financially. Let's wrap with maybe the most important idea. In Jewish tradition, we think long. Like, really long. Generationally long. You know the story. A man is planting a carob tree. Someone asks him, "Why are you planting that? You won't live to eat from it." He replies, "Just as my ancestors planted for me, I plant for my children." Boom. That's how you build a portfolio, not chasing quick returns, not trying to time the market like it's bingo night. Instead, the question is, what will this look like in 10 years? In 30 years? Will my children thank me for this decision? This is why real estate is so beloved. Why long-term index investing feels natural. Why building businesses that survive and grow, not just explode and fade, is so common. We're not in the lottery business. We're in the legacy business. So yes, some of us will day trade or dabble in crypto. But the foundation? It's patient, thoughtful, built to last. Because ultimately, wealth isn't just numbers on a screen. It's stability. It's community. It's the ability to help your cousin when he's short 1 month, to sponsor a scholarship, to build something that outlives you. That's the real portfolio. So you came here wondering how Jews build investment portfolios. Turns out, the secret isn't a secret at all. It's conversations around the table. It's trust between friends. It's ethics over shortcuts. It's long-term vision over instant gratification. It's the power of community. And here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to be Jewish to apply this. You just need to care, to be thoughtful, to build with others, not just for yourself. That's how we've survived. That's how we've thrived. And that's how you can too. Now tell me in the comments, what part of this made you think, "I've never seen investing like that before"? I read them all, and your thoughts really do shape the next video. Hit that like button. It tells the algorithm we're doing something worth sharing. Subscribe to the channel because trust me, this is just the beginning. We've got a whole series coming on Jewish approaches to money, economics, and yes, even what to do when the market crashes and your cousin starts selling gold bars at family dinners. You don't want to miss it. See you in the next one.